A new record, 77 miles beginning range. I've never had that before. I've had the car a fortnight, a little over a fortnight. Great word, nobody uses anymore. But I've had the car a fortnight and it's never said 77 to begin. Going to Trumann today, and it's merely coincidence that I've been doing so much driving lately. Oh my God, I've been going everywhere. But it's for my second job, which I'm under contract not to talk about it. I can't discuss much about it. But it gives me a chance to make a few extra dollars here and there with very little effort. But anyway, I'm off to Trumann. I brought my charger just in case. Anytime I'm driving more than 60 miles, I take my charger, my little trickle charger, just in case of an emergency. You know, I could find somewhere to plug in, but I don't expect to need it. Normally when I go to Trumann, I'm going for business, but I usually stop and see my aunt anyway, and I'll plug in while I'm at her house, even if I don't need to. But today I don't plan on seeing her. I plan on just going to Trumann, doing my little bit of business and coming back. But I did, what do they call it, where you cool off the car before you unplug it today. I did that for the first time. Preconditioned my car. I did that. I preconditioned it using the home's electricity. So that was kind of cool, you know. But anyway, off to Trumann. We'll see what how when I get back. By the way, Trumann is about, oh, I don't know, 64 or 65 miles. I've got it in my GPS, but it'll take 2 or 3 minutes for this thing to pop up. By the way, I wonder if most Spark EV owners use the Bringo app. I really like it, even though I'm never going anywhere that I don't know how to get there and get back. I like it just so I know how many miles I've got left, and I can keep looking at how many miles and comparing it to that right there and make sure I'm gonna be okay. But let's see. Yep, going to 32 miles, so 64 there and back. So hopefully I'll have about 64, hopefully I'll have about 12 or 14 when I get back home. And if I were to see I was going to be in trouble, I could always swing by Nissan in Jonesboro and charge. This area, northeast Arkansas, only has 2 chargers that I know of. We have one at Nissan in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which has 3 level 2 chargers. But I'm only going to get about 10 or 12 miles for every hour I'm plugged up. But it only take an hour and a half, and I'd have enough to get home. Maybe 2 hours. If I was completely empty even. And the other one is at a early learning center, kind of like a daycare, I think, in Jonesboro. And you can use it there.
On South 7th Street.
You can use their level 2 charger there after hours, which is after 5 o'clock. And going to Trumann the way I go, I would normally bypass Jonesboro. I kind of skip right by it. But if I had to, I could make that little bit of a detour and get it. But I don't think it'll be necessary. I'll be able to get home. I'm just 3 miles from my stop in Trumann, and you know, they built a bypass around Trumann. I don't know when, a few years ago, and now nobody takes this back road anymore, this back highway to Trumann. But that short little bypass, which I would have been on it probably 7 or 8 minutes, the speed limit is 70. When I first got my EV, I didn't want to go that fast, especially when you're talking about a round trip that would, you know, be mid 60, 64, 65 miles, when I figured I could only go 70 miles. So I took this old highway where the speed limit is 55. And I've learned that I actually like this highway better. It's it's less crowded, and I just like it. So even in an ICE vehicle now, I would take this old road, I think. Plus it leads right into Trumann. And you see, now this is one of those things where the EV haters would say, see, you gotta think about your route, you gotta go places you don't want to go. Who wants to do that? EVs suck! Gas power all the way, baby! Yeah, well, you know, I don't care. I actually like this road, and it doesn't bother me to have to think about where I'm going to go, maybe change my route, because I think the upside to electric vehicles is worth it. Yeah, electric vehicles are not perfect, And except for the Chevy Bolt, it's perfect. Yeah, because you can go over 200 miles on the highway. And I'm just kidding. No car is perfect. But yeah, this car with its limited range, it certainly isn't perfect. But by George, I tell you, I like it a lot better than my old gas vehicle. And I think the fact you have to think about where you're going to go, maybe change your route a little bit, maybe actually go 55. If I was in my gas vehicle, I'd be going 58 to 60 right now. Yeah, I would. I don't care. You know, to me, it's worth it. It's quiet. It's a smooth ride. And okay, now right now, let's see. Let me push my energy button. And let's just see how much gas. Whoops, 45. I better slow down. See how much gas not much gas, how much energy I've used. 5.7 kilowatt hours. In Paragould, Arkansas, it costs 6.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So let's just round both numbers up, 5.8. Let's say 6 kilowatt hours times 6.5 cents. That'd be 37.5, about 44 cents. I've spent less than 50 cents to go this 29 miles. And I bet you it's closer to about 45 cents. From Paragould to Trumann for 45 cents. So, you know, you can keep your gas vehicle. I don't care. There's too many advantages to these electric cars, you know, for me. And if people hate them, man, that's great. You can keep your gas vehicle. Let's see what I got on the way to Trumann, which is 29 miles. I drove 60 miles an hour for probably, I'm guessing, 12 miles of that. I drove 55, I'm guessing another 10 or 12 miles. And the rest was city driving. So let's see. 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. I can live with that. I'm going a different way home. I'm going to take this bypass going into Jonesboro home, just to show that yes, this car can go highway speeds. I've only had it up to 70 once, and I didn't think about this until after I missed the first on-ramp. So I'm not sure how far I've got to go on this. I'm thinking maybe even less than a mile. I may not have a chance to, let's see. See, one more mile, Nestle Road. But yeah, I'm going 73 right now, 71. But it's using 25, 26, 27 kilowatt hours. Couldn't even get up to 80, and it's smooth as silk even at 80. So speed limit 70, I better slow down. Where is it 75? I don't even know. But this is a major on-ramp here, quite a long one. So we're gonna see what kind of regen I get. Not bad. Okay, that took some energy, but sure was quick. Well, I made it home. I made it home with 14 miles left, minimum 12, maximum of 15. And I believe it was 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour on the way there. Now, I drove probably, I'm guessing, 20% of the trip, 45 miles an hour or less. I'm guessing probably about 40% was 55 and about 40% 60 or more. And I got up to 80. I don't think I've had the car up to 80 yet. I've had up to 70, 72 once. But in the 15 days I've owned it now, I've only gotten to 70 now twice. So a total of just a few miles. But anyway, let's see what I got in the second leg on the way home. 5.2, so almost the same. Except on the way there, my top speed was 60, and on the way back, my top speed was 80. But for just a very short period of time. And I drove 70 another short period of time. As far as the energy details, there you go. 70, 10, 11.4 kilowatt hours. 10% for climate control, because it was in the low to mid 80s today. Okay, now that I'm home, like I said earlier, if I'm going round trip 60 miles or more, I always take my little trickle charger, which is the only way I have to charge a car. I don't have a level 2. You know, and the reason that is because it's just giving me a little bit of peace of mind. I made it today home easily, but I'll take it next time because it's not any trouble to take it. You never know. And yes, while I keep it in my back seat, when there's a perfectly good spot in the back of the car, perfectly molded for my trickle charger, well, because my wheelchair is back there. So, you know, there's no easy way to get to it. But, so this is pretty much a 2-seater for me, which is fine. My wife and I are empty nesters. We don't have any kids at home. All we need is a little 2-seater. And we have her ice vehicle if we need to go somewhere else, you know, with more people or something. But time to get it charged up and ready for the next trip. One more thing. If you look at the number of kilowatt hours I burned going from Paragould to Trumann and back, then multiply that by 6.5 cents, which is our rate here in Paragould per kilowatt hour. It cost 74 cents to make that trip today. Man, that is crazy cheap, especially with gas going up. You know, so you people that made fun of me and mocked me and poked fun at me, some of you in fun and some of you seriously, that's fine. You know, I don't mock you for spending 10 times in fuel what I spend in electricity, you know. But hey, you love what you love and you hate what you hate. And speaking of that, remember, chicks dig scars and EV cars. See you later, and thanks for watching.